What's up guys, it's Eric here with another VOD review from one of my PvE games. Set 9.5 is going live tomorrow from the day that I'm posting this, so I wanted to get a few games out for you guys if you guys want to get caught up on the meta, know what comps are strong, know what to play when the set goes live. This game, as you can probably see from the thumbnail, is a Misfortune game, Misfortune Reroll with vertical Bilgewater. I think this is one of the strongest comps right now. Of note is that they are nerfing this comp a little bit. There's going to be one more patch before live, and they're nerfing the base Bilgewater damages, but actually increasing like the sort of scaling with damage. So my intuition with that change is that, you know, it'll be a little bit weaker early, but a little bit stronger late game once you get past the base damage. I don't know exactly how much damage you have to be doing, that it is better. I'm sure there's like a math nerd in the comments who will say, oh, at 5 Bilgewater you need to do X amount of damage, blah, 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 blah. Because like that would be something that you could calculate. But yeah, we are also on Ornn for people who are curious. I think the new Ornn items, like they buffed a lot of Ornn items, they made a lot of Ornn items. They actually changed a couple of items, like Goldmancer Staff is now an Ornn item. The Mogul's Mail is now an Ornn item as well. So it's kind of interesting actually what are classified as Ornn items in this set now. Mogul's Mail obviously can be really good early if you have basically like another tank item so that your unit lives long enough. It is 40 stacks, so you know it's not actually the easiest thing in the world to proc. Also, we just barely lose this fight. Probably was like a Guardbreaker diff, but I just don't want to slam Guardbreaker in this situation, I don't think. I would just want to greed my strongest items in this spot, because like, if I make Guardbreaker, one, it doesn't actually like synergize that well with MF because she like already gets rid of shields, so like she's getting rid of the effectiveness of Guardbreaker, even though like for her spell to get rid of a shield, she would have to be hitting a shield, but I don't know, it's like kind of a weird thing. And then the other thing is when I'm playing AP especially, I really don't like Guardbreaker Slam without any way of making your spells crit. So we're just going to take a couple of losses here, but you know, not terrible losses by any means. And then, you know, off carousel, we're going to look for finishing one of these items. I do get the opportunity to build Soraka 2 here, and I do think about it for a little while, because you could definitely, you know, make the argument that you could just like play around Soraka 2 here. The problem is like I don't have an Invoker to actually like play. So like, you know, if I had like, I don't know, Cassiopeia 2 or something like that, then maybe I'd be more interested in playing around Soraka 2, but I don't. So I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna hold Soraka pair, and what this is gonna allow me to do is if I Giga hit next round, if I hit like a Karma or something, then I can think about playing around Invokers. But it doesn't like commit me to anything. The big thing is that it doesn't break my econ threshold, which is really important here. I ended up taking Rod here to finish JG. I just wanted to finish like JG. There was actually an MF with Sword, yeah, that someone else got. That would have gone crazy if we could just get MF with Sword, but can't always get what you want. So that's life. We actually had a Taric here, which fits really well into the board. It gives me Bastion frontline, and it also gives me Targon with the Soraka. I am personally just a complete Bastion hater. I think this trait early game and late game does almost nothing in my experience. These Bastion units do like no damage, and they're just not that tanky. But I mean, you'll take what you can get in the early game, right? Also, I know that at this point I'm not going to play around the Soraka, so I am just going to sell there and end up making gold, and maybe we can have a 3 streak potentially. I do also think about like, okay, we could play this Graves here to guarantee that we make 30 gold here, but the problem is that makes our board so much weaker that I'm just going to end up playing the Soraka here. And if I win the fight, I'm going to sell the Graves and make 30. Graves 2 is important, but, you know, if I ever find like a TF, Graves is going to come out for the TF. The only way I'm keeping the Graves on the board is if I play 5 Bilgewater, which is very reasonable, but, you know, if I do, then hopefully I'll have Graves too. You know, like hopefully I'll hit it by then. So I say, you know what, like it's fine. And I do end up actually hitting the TF, interestingly enough, so I can get this in. This is 4 Bilgewater, and if I find a Nautilus, I'm very open to playing 5 Bilgewater. Also, like I said, now that I have the TF, I could just cut Graves for some other kind of frontline unit or just solid unit in general. Get actually like a lot of gold here. Yeah, I get so much gold here that I can actually make 50, and I'm like, you know what, fine, I'll just make 50 gold, why not? And I get dropped the Shojin here, which is just it's a very easy slam onto MF, so makes a lot of sense. I also find the Soraka again, which is nice, so I get her back in. It's really just been like selling units to make econ and then getting them right back in. But I don't know, I feel like looking back on it, aren't I a beast? Like, didn't I play this early and pretty solidly? Like, I think a lot of people would be tempted to hold a lot of units that I didn't hold. yeah, hold a lot of the units that I didn't hold to try to like make their board stronger. But like, look at this, I'm still on a 4 streak. I'm obviously gonna beat this guy playing Jin because Jin sucks. And you know, now I'm on a 4 streak, and it doesn't really matter that I did all that stuff. I see army building here, but I don't know for a fact that I'm actually playing MF yet this game. So I just decided to take strong combat augment here. And I do actually, I believe I roll here. Yeah, because there's actually a lot to roll for. If I find, and now like, look, there's so much to roll for. Find Tarek 2 and I find Nautilus and I say, okay, that's good enough. We can get 5 bilge in. But yeah, I'm rolling for 5 bilge here, and I'm rolling for all of my units 2-starred. Especially when I had like MF2. I honestly think, or like MF paired, TF paired, I honestly think I could have kept rolling in this situation, especially with my streak, to find either MF2 or TF2. I think that was probably correct here to actually continue rolling, especially next round, because I believe I don't roll this round and then I end up losing, which, like, fair enough. But I have MF paired and TF paired, which are big, and Graves paired. So yeah, I think I actually make a mistake here of not rolling, just because I think like, oh, like I won that fight, I'm just gonna start pushing level 7. But I think in actuality I should have just rolled more on 3-2 until I hit like, I thought Nautilus plus Tarek 2 would be good enough, and like it is good enough. Like I'm definitely stable. It's not like I'm taking a lot of damage, but I really could have pushed my win streak here. Like, look, like this fight is relatively close. MF2 definitely swings this fight, I would say. And then I could have actually just, had a full streak into, stage 4 probably, and the game would have been easy. Instead, now we lost the game. No, but it's like, it's not ideal. Items-wise, I just want to finish this belt item. Something like a Sunfire is solid, like the Warmogs would be good as well. I end up just getting Sunfire here. And I get it on Swain. I'm also going to get my Latent Forge item this round. Also, talking about rolling, like, I absolutely can't roll now because I just natural Nautilus 2 and TF2. I can't even level because I spent all that gold. Items-wise here, Goldmancer doesn't really do anything, so it's between Eternal Winter and Anima Visage. I end up opting to go Eternal Winter here, but I forgot about this. I pick it up at the last second, so it flies across the board and doesn't get to my board in time, which is just absolutely tragic, especially versus this person who's playing Kale, which it would have been so good versus. But whatever, I don't have a win streak here, so it's not the end of the world. But I hate that bug so much. I don't know. I was also curious, like, I'm still not 100% sure about the Sunfire Sam in the situation, because when you have Eternal Winter, you don't actually like items like Sunfire that much. You want just like raw like tank items like Gargoyle, like Warmogs or something like that. Especially because we ended up losing that fight anyway. I think I probably shouldn't have slammed this Sunfire, because I would much prefer have, like I said, like Gargoyle Warmogs with this belt plus chain, as opposed to, the Sunfire cape. Also, if I was going to make Sunfire, I could have opted for Anima Visage instead, which, like, maybe was better in this situation. I don't know. I'm an Eternal Winter lover. I think this item's really good. But I'm actually, like, it might be incorrect to go for what I went for here. I also noticed at this point that I have 4 TFs. I literally said out loud on stream, I was like, if I natural one more TF, I'll think about playing TF reroll. And then I natural one more TF, and I'm like, oh, well, I mean, I have 5 TFs. I guess I can think about TF reroll. And it's also a comp that I wanted to try out. So I'm like, okay, this could be my TF reroll board. I roll a couple of times to see how many TFs that I can actually hit in this situation. But then I find MF2. And so the second I find MF2, I'm like, okay, never mind. We're back. We're back to not really caring about TF reroll, because like there's no way that even with 5 TFs, like it's solid, but I was like, in my head, I was like, there's no way that I'm going to like sell this MF2 and move items over to TF2. Like, it's just weaker. Also, we hit Bilgewater Crown here, which this obviously like precipitates my ability to like, play for vertical Bilgewater this game, which is how it ends up happening. So yeah, we hit 5 Bilgewater here. The only issue is that we really need to level to play 8 Bilgewater, or to play 7 Bilgewater, I mean. We need to find Anila. I really want to keep in, like, this Tarek plus Swain, I feel like is actually a really potent combination, because not only is Tarek benefiting from Bastion, from the Alawi and giving Bastion to her, but he's also Sorcerer with the Swain, and then the Swain is Strategist. So I feel like they're actually like a really nice sort of like frontline combination. Probably at some point we can cut one of them. Like, I think the ideal board might be like cut Tarek for like Nasus, or something like that, like Nasus, and then get in like Jarvan probably over Swain eventually, because we do really want to play around like a Nautilus 3 eventually. We have 5 Nautiluses this game, and getting Juggernaut in for Nautilus is going to make him way tankier, especially with this Eternal Winter, like I was talking about, like make him as tanky as possible. But I mean, as you can see, The board is very strong with 5 Bilgewater, and I'm super, super rich because I didn't roll all that much at level 7. My board was already stable, basically, because I found MF2 on level 6, and that's, like, good enough, especially with all these Bilgewater units. So yeah, I forgot what component we have open here. Sword. Oh, yeah, I'm, like, not 100% sure what I meant to go for here. I think about going, like, Edge of Night. I don't know. Can I actually go back? Let's actually go back and see what my options were again. Um, I'm pretty sure it was actually meant to be tier here. Um, I opt to end up itemizing the Neela, but I think with the fact that I have this many TFs, I should probably look more into itemizing for TF3, because it's actually quite reasonable that I hit TF3 this game. So yeah, we level for Neela, get 7 Bilge. I have to bilge either Tarek or Swain, so I just end up putting it on Swain, because I'm pretty sure he's going to do more actual ability damage. A lot of Tarek's damage just coming from the fact that Ionic Spark is shocking people. Like, Tarek himself is not doing any damage. But as you can see, like, look at these explosions from Bilgewater. Bilgewater dealt over 4,000 damage in that fight, and that was, like, I don't know, that wasn't even, like, that insane of a fight. I feel like Vertical Bilgewater is so good, which, you know, makes sense that they nerfed it a bit. But yeah, like, you see I have 6 TFs here. Like, I could have just had, like, a Shojin on this TF here instead of this stupid Edge of Night. And, like, this Neela, I mean, she ends up doing work, like, much later, but for now, I think it's, like, definitely, it's definitely TF. I was actually gonna go pull up the changes, but I can't, I don't have them immediately on this monitor. Just to get a sense for, like, how different 7 Bilgewater is. Okay, like, I kind of really want to know, though. So I'm just gonna go to Twitter, Mort Dog. It'll take me literally 2 seconds to pull them up on the other monitor, but I'm curious what 7 Bilgewater the difference is. Like, did it get nerfed at 7 actually? I know it got changed a bit. So here, let me pull it over for you guys as well so that you can see, and I'll pause this. So yeah, these are the changes to Bilgewater. So yeah, they nerfed the base damage, but they actually buffed the Bilgerat damage percent increase. So for example, at 7 Bilgewater, you're losing 50 of the base damage on every Bilgewater proc, but you're gaining an extra 10% damage amp, basically, on your damage. So, I mean, to get that back, you need to do 500 damage, right? If you're doing more than 500 damage per Bilgewater proc, you're coming out ahead, which, I mean, certainly for a lot of the MF procs, that is going to be the case. For something like, you know, like an Alawi auto-attacking unit, that's not going to be the case. Okay, so it clicked. I mean, it definitely seems like a nerf, for sure. Yeah, we figure out that we just want to build GS here. I thought about Gumblade for a little bit on MF. The problem is that she's not going to, as far as I understand it, she's not going to Gumblade heal from the Bilgewater procs, because, like, that's a separate, like, instance of damage. So I feel like on Bilgewater units, you really just want as much damage as possible, because any kind of Omnivamp is not going to proc off Bilgewater, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, at this point, we're just going to basically, like, slow roll on level 8, look for everything. We actually hit a lot here, so now we have 6 Nautiluses, 6 MFs. But yeah, I mean, we need to find everything. We don't need to really, like, roll down deep, because we're, you know, pretty healthy at this point. If we get really close to something, like a Neela pair, like, if I had Neela pair here, I would definitely roll, like, 40 gold. If we found, like, some more MFs, then I would definitely, like, dip a little bit. But yeah, like, I don't think we have to roll that deep. We find Jarvan here. Do I play around Nasus as well? I don't play around Nasus. I do think I probably should have ended up holding that Nasus just for, like I was talking about. I think eventually we are going to have to get out of this Nautilus. I think maybe I eventually hit Astrox. That's what I ended up playing. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I should have held the Nasus. I'm pretty sure it's weaker currently, but, like, Nasus 2 would do work. So yeah, like, we're down to 35 now. So now's the time where we have to start worrying a little bit. So we're probably gonna roll a lot of gold after Carousel here. And item-wise, we want just, like, a last... wait, do we want a last Neela item here? I'm actually not sure what we end up building in this situation. I think maybe it's just, like, Titan's Neela. Yeah. It doesn't feel amazing because we have no healing on her, but what else are you going to do? Oh, the other idea behind Edge of Night, by the way, which I didn't talk about, I think, is that it'll proc at the same time as the Night Harvester. So that feels pretty good. We actually see, like, we end up getting kind of, like, bench locked here, so we end up not being able to play for TF3, which is kind of sad. And we end up, like, open selling there so that we can hit everything. But yeah, we actually, like, get slowed down a little bit here because I just don't... I get, like, a little bit overwhelmed trying to sell my board because I don't know. This is my first time actually playing around 7 Bilgewater, I think. Maybe my second time. But yeah, you know, PBE, no one has infinite experience on all these comps, but I end up actually, like, lucking out and winning that comp, which I feel like in, like, a real, like, challenger lobby, I probably would lose that fight and, like, drop down to, like, 20s HP. We do end up rolling twice here and just hitting everything, though, which feels really, really good. So now we basically have our final board. We do need to find Jarvan, too. But at this point, we can just push 9 to find like a Juggernaut to get in. I'm looking at my like everything that I have in. I'm thinking about potentially like a Nasus plus Azir setup. I feel like Nasus plus Azir fits into every comp. But yeah, like I think maybe my ideal level 9 would be like Nasus Azir. And then put some extra tank items on like Nasus, move Bilgewater Spat to Azir, perhaps. And yeah, I could play like Nasus Azir on 9 over Swain. The other option would be just add Azir or just add, I mean, if I'm adding Nasus, then I'm always adding Azir, I think, and I'll have enough frontline. But yeah, we cracked this open, and I think like at this point, I feel like we just need frontline, so I take the Warmogs, and I'm just putting it on Jarvan. It's gonna be better on him later once I actually find Jarvan too. It's worse right now than putting it on Swain, but what are you gonna do? And I want my Nautilus same side as the enemy carry on the edge as always, so put it right in front of this Jinx, which is really nice. He ends up actually, I didn't even see this fight, but he ends up walking up and CCing the Jinx, which is kind of crazy. Like Giga Chad Nautilus here. Also, yeah, I should hold a Neela for some kind of chance of potentially hitting Neela 3. Though, I mean, I definitely want to just like push levels here. Yeah, as you can see, like I just level here for a Warwick just to get Juggernaut in, because I think it's just so important to actually get Juggernaut in for this Nautilus. Like, I'm actually a little bit surprised that like I didn't get it in sooner, thinking about it. Oh, also, I'm always putting the MF same side as the Nautilus because I want the Ionic proc. I know for a while I had MF in the middle, and I think that's pretty good. I don't know, it sort of depends. Also, by the way, isn't this fight insane? Like, I thought I was gonna beat that Kale. It's literally just a Kale 2, but my Neela loses a Kale 2. I mean, it's a no healing Neela diff. I think, you know, like, if we had to like a BT instead of one of these items, maybe we would have been fine, but it's a bit sad. I mean, I know we have Harm Assist, but still. This fight, I'm just really scared of getting Jarvaned. Like, very scared of getting Jarvaned, so I position, like, everything to try to make it so I won't get Jarvaned. But something, like, even worse happens here, which is my frontline dies, and then my MF just gets targeted by Azir. So I actually take a really bad loss here and drop to 1 HP. And I was scared here. I'm like, oh my god, I'm going 8th on this board. Item-wise here, I want blue buff. It will allow my GP to insta-cast, which is actually really, really nice. I believe I just put it on GP. That's going to give my entire front line CC reduction or CC immunity, which is really, really nice. So yeah, I feel like it's very solid. But yeah, we just roll a bit here. We find the Atrox, which is of course a better unit than the Warwick, and we put the Atrox same side as the Neela so that he can die and then give his buff to the Neela. We are going to fight this this Kale Cho'Gath player, the Joe Bookmark Enjoyer. This is a comp that Joe Bookmark championed and said was like Giga Broken, and like I'm still not convinced that it's Giga Broken. We do end up beating Clone. They end up dying, so now it's top 2, us, and I believe this is the player that we lost to last time. We just have to roll twice here, see if we hit anything. We don't, which Sag, I was like, I don't know, can I sell TF for something? No, I can't. So this just has to be my board, and hopefully we can win the fight. I move a teeny tiny bit, but it's, yeah, I don't know. They say they messed up here, and honestly, I was just so focused on my own gameplay, I actually didn't see what they did here that was messed up with their swaps. I mean, it looks like their units are on the correct sides. Nothing seems egregiously bad. I mean, this, like, Atrox is about to die. Yeah, I don't know what they were saying that they messed up here. I mean, like, this not being in the corner is kind of weird. But yeah, like, I mean, the nice thing is that MF is opposite side of this Azir now. So, like, she's not going to end up getting one shot. But yeah, I don't know what this position doesn't look like too bad. I don't know. Maybe they'll pop into my comments and say what they messed up, because I don't actually see here what they messed up that badly. But as you can see, like the MF lives a really, really long time in this fight. She doesn't get wrecked by the Azir, and we end up actually winning the fight and winning the game. So it is a first on MF Reroll. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch and all my other links down below. Thank you, thank you. Oh, also, I'm gonna write a guide for this comp on Tactor guide website, so check out the guide down below as well. Okay, bye.